Hello and welcome to another edition of Issues with Jide. Here we talk about actions and inactions of those who shape our political and national landscape and how these impact us positively or otherwise. I'm Ibrahim Shita. Today on the show, PDP governors their Wike insist on November the 15th convention. In the course of the program, we take your questions, but first, subscribe to our YouTube channel and drop your questions in the comment section. It's important to mention that we can only read comments with human names and the ones based on the subject matter. I have joining me via Zoom, the master himself, Jide Kolade Tutoju. Good to see you, Bikil. Good evening.
Good evening, Ibrahim. Good evening, my esteemed viewers.
Now, here's some wiki, the FCT minister and former governor of River State and a key PDP figure, despite his role in the APC government, has publicly denied awareness of the convention and threatened legal action, citing unresolved zonal disputes from the 2022 primary, a loss to Atiku. In essence, a few sidelined. Looking at his recent interviews, especially the one he had on one of the TV stations, where he warned of a fresh crisis if the South-South Zonal Congress electing Dan Obi is not recognized. How do you assess Wike's argument that that the PDP Russian convention without addressing this inclusivity would deepen or weaken the PDP further?
Well, I know that politics is an interest-driven game. Wike is very much interested in ensuring the primacy of his interests, ensuring that his interest is protected as much as possible. But the PDP, just like other political parties, is made up of so many people who have conflicting interests. The PDP governors especially wrote Sheyi Makinde and Bala Mohammed, the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, also have their ambitions. Bala Mohammed originally wanted to be president, but I think he has seen now that the mood does not really support another president from the north when the south has only had or potentially has had just 2 years, hopefully 2 more years of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. His party, the PDP, at the end of their 101st NEC held in July, resolved to zone the presidency to the south. For this reason, Bala Mohammed is now happy to serve as running mate to former President Goodluck Jonathan if and when Goodluck decides to throw his hat in the ring and contest for the presidency. There are many people who believe that he can still have a shake of the dice, talking about the presidency. So Bala Mohammed, who was his minister of FCT for years, now feels that it is better for him to contest for the vice presidency with Goodluck Jonathan as the standard bearer of the party. Sheyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State, is very much interested in contesting the presidency. He believes he's in a different party. He believes that he does not have to. Um, he does not have to uh, get out of the race or refuse to contest because the president is contesting. As far as is concerned, the president is from a rival party, so he doesn't feel that he owes the president anything. He doesn't feel that he should bury his own interests, his ambition, because the president uh, is certainly going to seek a second term. So Seyi Makinde is very much interested in contesting for the presidency. And he has said it openly that he doesn't feel inferior to anyone when it comes to contesting for the presidency. So they have their interests. Wike has his interests. Wike believes that his friend Dan Obi must be the South South chairman of the party. He also opposes the person that the other powerful people in the party want to bring as Southeast chairman of the party. So these misunderstandings are there. But the moment Seyi Makinde found a way to convince party men and women to allow the convention to hold in Ibadan on the 15th of November, I knew that he had gotten a good head start against the FCT minister because the convention will have far-reaching implications. The person who will lead the party and lead it to the next election will be decided at that convention. Other key positions like secretary and the rest of them will be decided at that convention. Many people are convinced that Wike's friend, the secretary of the PDP, will not be returned after that convention. As far as they are concerned, his decision, his last assignment was simply to sign the notice to the INEC about the convention that will take place on November 15th. The chairman of the party, who originally was sponsored to the position by the governor of Bauchi State before he became chummier with Nyesom Wike. The party has technically zoned the national chairmanship of the party to the northwest, which effectively takes Damagum out of the contest for the chairmanship. So when you look at the way everything is going, Wike's interests are not being addressed. It is clear that other people in the party, other big wigs, the governors, their interests do not align with Wike's interests. Yes, Wike still has one or two strong friends among the governors, but the majority of the governors, majority of the members of the NWC currently, majority of the members of the Board of Trustees, led by Adolphus Wabara, clearly they see things differently. They don't want to toe Wike's line. From the feelers that I'm getting, if care is not taken during this convention of the party, they may even decide to punish the FCT minister. Because the PDP governors had a meeting yesterday in Gusau, a meeting that lasted 5 hours. Ibrahim, you know what it means for people to have a meeting that lasts 5 hours. So many issues came up. So many
Yes, sir.
issues came up. And if Bala Mohammed has his way, honestly, Wike will be expelled this moment. So from the feelers I'm getting, some of them want Wike to be sanctioned, whether it's going to be a suspension or whatever, because they see him attempting to stop their convention as a step taken too far. They believe that they have tolerated him long enough and that this time around it may be necessary to move against him. Remember, Mark Kinde sees himself now as the person who can stop Wike. He believes he has the clout, he believes he has the resources as a sitting governor. And, you know, the, when he heard what Wike said about not being aware of the convention taking place, a convention that the decision had been taken since July, and he said he will reject the Ibadan convention. Makinde then said, personally, when people go low or they go into the gutters, I don't go with them. That's Makinde's reaction. The deputy publicity secretary of the party has also been speaking. He was on one of the um, foreign radio stations, and he responded to Wike's uh, decision to reject the Ibadan Convention, having denied knowledge of it. So he then said that Wike had been sabotaging their party and that this time around they are not going to allow him to get away with sabotaging the election, trying to get a quote, direct quote um, from uh, from Ibrahim Abdullah, the deputy publicity secretary of the party. But he, he firmly said that whatever Wike tries to do, they are ready for him. They will not allow him to sabotage their party. That Wike said Wike is a man who likes to pick fights. If Wike was loyal to the party, he should have been following and implementing the party's decisions. But he's been opposing the decisions of the party. And he said that from Wike's latest actions, it would seem that he is more interested now in promoting the interests of the APC than than aligning with the plans, with the interests of the PDP. So when you look at the number of people, the number of big shots who attended the Lagos meeting, the consultative forum on the zoning um, arrangement that the party intends to put in place, you will see that it will seem that like this time around the party is serious. And I think also that the performance of the party in the by-elections have encouraged them that the party is not down and out, that the party still remains in terms of the structures at the grassroots, that the party still remains the closest to the APC. Many people had dismissed the PDP, believing that the new party ADC would do very well in the by-election. But as we have seen, the PDP during that contest was the closest to the APC. They even won uh, some of the seats, and they came close to winning some cities. Means that they still retain some loyalty at the grassroots. They still retain some sympathy, and if they put their house in order, they can get stronger. I've said a number of times on journalist anger that what needs to be done by the PDP is for them to stop the defection, the gale of defections. If they can stop the gale of defections, they can then work on or some of they can then work on stabilizing the party. And if their convention can be successful, if they achieve their aim of achieving unanimity in the course of their convention, it will help strengthen the party, and some of their members who were already giving up will begin to take the party seriously again. This is what people like Governor Makinde are trying to do. Believe that the party still retains support across the country. Yes, he's been weakened, but certainly it still remains the second strongest party in our country. And as we have seen in the by-elections, it still retains the capacity to give the APC a good fight in some of the states, despite the fact that they've lost some governors. So if they will work hard, put an end to the internal wranglings bedeviling the party, they stand a good chance of surviving, because many people had given up on the party. They believed that the party was nearing its death. But I do not want to give up that the PDP is dead. There are still steps that they can take to strengthen the party. So I will not be surprised if they end up punishing Nyesom Wike for the first time at the Ibadan Convention, because once they are able to agree and the governors are singing from the same book, they will all come together and take a decision against him. But some of his friends among the governors, he still has friends, at least two or three, among the PDP governors, some of whom he helped to get to power, sponsored some elections of some of them, he assisted some of them financially. They remain indebted to him, and it's difficult for such people to take him on. So this is what we have seen. He has lost the chairman of the party already. Damagum, from his latest utterances, does not appear to be interested in retaining his support for Wike. So he's back,
That's right.
back on the side of people like Bala Mohammed. So
That's
it's
right.
a game of interest, right? It's a big game of interest, and at the end of the day, if care is not taken, the FCT minister, he may be facing his biggest challenge in the PDP in the next few months by the time the convention is held.
Uh, Now, looking at the rift between Wike and your state governor, Shea Makinde, who were former G5 allies, they both engaged in anti-party activities, especially by opposing Atiku in 2023, but now
Yes.
clash over party control, as you've said. It has now escalated with Wike's camp rejecting zoning talks and vowing to challenge the Ibadan venue. But simply stated, it's about power balances, as you said. Now, giving backstories like Wike's accusation of betrayal and his group's meetings to counter injustice, how persuasive do you consider the counter argument that postponing or relocating the convention could prevent a high stakes showdown, especially by preserving party cohesion ahead of 2027? Do you see the party still, falling like a pack of cats, as it's been said?
No, if the one of the resolutions um, made by the governors after their 5 hour meeting yesterday in Guso was to abide by all the decisions reached at the 101st NEC meeting of the party held in July. That was where the decision was reached to zone the presidency to the south and to zone other positions in line with the interests of party men and women. Once they have taken that decision, that there was no going back on their convention, once they've taken the decision to um, endorse all of the decisions reached, to stand by all of the decisions reached during their NEC meeting held in July, it means that they are ready to go ahead because these are governors, and that's the most important unit within the party. Just like it is in the APC, the governors are very powerful because they are the ones who fund the party, you know. So once they've taken that decision and they don't go against it, it will send the right signal to party members that the party is ready to stay strong, stand together, and whatever Wike says, once those governors have decided that they were going to stand by their decision to have that convention on the 15th of November, I think it bodes well for the party. But if it gets postponed, it will do a big reputational damage to the party, and I'm sure they know it. So no one knows what Wike will do next. Maybe he will try to use the courts to stop the convention, you know. But I think from the feelings that I'm getting, I think that the they have made up their minds to go ahead with that convention, whatever Wike thinks. They are ready to dare him to do his worst, but that they will go ahead with the convention. So this is the thing. And if you listen to um, the deputy publicity secretary speaking on one of the foreign radio stations, you will see that they are not prepared to listen to Wike this time. They are ready to dare him, and he even issued subtle threats, which will point to the fact that they could be moving against him this time around. Because to them, he's out to kill their party.
Right. Let me take some comments. Looking at okay, yeah, trying to look for the comments. Yep. Chinwe Okonkwo says PDP governors are right to push for the November 15 convention. It shows strength post 2023 defections. Wike's zoning complaints seem like a distraction. Delaying would make PDP look weak to APC. Abdullahi Musa says rushing the convention is risky. Wike is right. Unresolved South-South issues could split PDP further. A delay to fix zoning disputes might prevent court battles or more defections. Fumilayo Adebayo says, I'm torn. Governors want unity, but Wike's legal threats could invalidate the convention. PDP risks chaos if they don't address inclusivity concerns first. Emeka Nwankwo says, Wike's hypocrisy as FCT minister under APC is clear. Governors should stick to the convention plan. Let Wike take it to court. PDP is bigger than him. And Kemi Alabi says, I back the governors. November 15 is crucial for a new NWC to challenge APC. Wike's noise ignores his neck invite. Hold the convention. Let courts decide. Mohammed Sani says, forcing the convention without inclusivity risks court injunctions and INEC rejection. PDP's internal mess could doom its 2027 opposition role. Now, looking at some of the comments, because with the party's warning of sanctions against Wike for potential anti-party activities, while it
Hmm.
vows court action to enforce zonal congress outcomes, legal battles loom large, reminiscent of the past PDP injunctions that halted events. In straightforward language, Wike, courts could intervene. So, looking at these tensions, how do you evaluate the legal implications, especially looking at the risk of INEC non-recognition or constitutional breaches? And what strategies could mitigate challenges like, parallel structures or further erosion of democratic values within the party?
I don't know exactly what Wike intends to do. I'm not close to him. I've not seen him since 2022, except on TV. I don't know what's going through his mind. I don't know how he's thinking. but the a court order stopping the convention will feel like a dagger straight to the heart of the PDP. For so long, they couldn't organize a neck. The media taunted them, but at last they had a successful neck. And that neck rolled out a plan for the convention. Everything was going on smoothly. So if a court order throws spanner in the works, it will set back the party massively. And it could feel like they're starting all over again. And no one knows how easy it could be for them to hammer out the kind of deal that they hammered out in July, enabling them to fix date for convention. Remember, to even hold meetings was tough for them. Neck they couldn't hold for a long time. But now they've had neck, they fixed date for convention, which is the highest decision-making organ of the party. So it gives hope to people in the PDP that their party may eventually bounce back again. And the kind of big shots that I see attending their meetings these days will suggest that the party is coming back together. People like Mohamed Adoke, the former Attorney General of the Federation during Jonathan's era, he attended the meeting. Olagun Suyo Ilola, Bode George, the National Assembly caucus of the party, governors, former governors like Udom Emmanuel of Akwa Ibom, governors like Oyediri, um, governors like Fintri, even the governors who couldn't attend sent representatives. So I can see their determination to come together to make the party strong again. But any court ordered stop to their convention will be a massive blow, to be a massive blow. The kind of blow that the party will find difficult to recover from because at this time they are doing well in terms of the way they come together and a lot of their members are going to the ADC. Know it already. So they cannot afford not to get it right. Cannot afford not to get it right. Maybe in the coming days they'll be able to reach out to Ison Wike to stop him from stopping their convention through a court order. Maybe. I don't know how they are thinking. A lot of them have given up on Wike. They are tired of him. They don't even want to talk to him. Makinde was saying Wike had gone too far and no one should be allowed to derail the party, let alone prevent it from holding its scheduled convention. This is the way many of them are thinking that they needed to do something about the FCT minister if their parties to survive.
Yeah, very, very interesting stuff. Before we call it a wrap, Vicky, I just wanted to share a thought or one. Okay, let me take one, two comments, and then I ask my last question. Aisha Bilu says PDP's rush ignores Wiki and Southern leaders. Without broader talks, a parallel convention could happen. This disunity helps APC win again. Tunde Oguleye, governors have a legal edge with the PDP constitution and INEC rules, but Wiki's boycott could weaken PDP's 2027 chances. Some compromise is needed. Ngozi Eze says PDP's infighting over the convention is embarrassing. Nigerians need solutions, not drama. Wiki and governors must settle this or APC wins 2027. It goes to show that people are very disappointed in the opposition parties. PDP being which used to be the largest party in the country, maybe and in Nigeria as they used to brag, Atiku Abubakar has left the party for the ADC. Few of PDP members, David Mark, etc., even from some of the aggrieved APC members like Aregbesola, El-Rufai, etc., had also moved to the ADC. With this fragmentation, coming from PDP itself, with the strong persons, looking at also the governor of Delta State defecting to the APC, whether convention holds or not, do you see the PDP bouncing back? Do they still have that wherewithal, that strength to withstand the APC? Vis-a-vis the Labour Party also positioning itself, etc.
No, they are still stronger than the Labour Party in the grand scheme of things. Look, they still have some governors, they still retain some level of sympathy of some Nigerians. That was why I pointed to the by-elections held. They were the party that came closest to upstaging the APC. They did much better than other opposition parties. Where was Labour Party in this whole by-election? Um, where was ADC? As far as the by-election was concerned, ADC did not register its presence at all. So it was still PDP that was able to win some seats, was able to come close to matching the APC. So that means that they still have, I mean, look at the way they won comprehensively in Oyo State, for example. It shows that they still retain some support at the grassroots. All that they need to do is stop the hemorrhaging of members to the rival PDP and APC. If they can stop that, they can begin to organize themselves. Bouncing back is not really what I'm talking about, but keeping the party competitive. You understand? Keeping the party competitive across the length and breadth of our country. That is what they should be pushing to achieve now. Not really bouncing back because it's already fragmented, it is fractured. So a bounce back is not really, it's not what I see in the horizon. They've been massively weakened. And if the opposition wants to defeat President Tinubu, then they should be ready to come together. If they contest against President Tinubu in their individual capacities as political parties, then they are not going to go far at all. It will make life easy for the president. So I'm not seeing a bounce back. They've been so terribly weakened for me to see a bounce back, but they can still give a good outing in the states where they control, and in the states where they still have some level of support of the grassroots people.
Well, we'll see what happens, in the coming days.
Yeah.
And that's our show. That's our show for today's edition of Issues with Jide. Special thanks to you, Baba Jide Kolade Tutoju, for those insightful analyses as always.
Thank you, Ibrahim. I say a big thank you to our viewers for keeping company with us every Saturday. It's not easy because people have competing, a lot of things competing for their attention. So thank you for staying faithful to us. Thank you for supporting us the best way that you can.
That's right. Yeah, thank you to our audience for keeping our company on every edition. You can see the program again anytime by subscribing to our YouTube channel, TVC News Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button to get the latest information. You can also follow us on our social media platforms at TVC News NG. I'm also at Ibrahim_Shita. On behalf of the rest of the team, I'm Ibrahim Shita. See you again next edition. Bye for now.